Hi, we're going to look at transformations of functions with mixed transformations. So remember from Math 3 or from the last videos that the A value is the vertical stretch, the B value gives us information about the horizontal stretch, and the H and the K give us our shift values. And it's important to remember that our B value is actually, our stretch factor for our B is actually 1 over b times x. So just remember that it's going to be 1 over b. It's the inverse operation. What we're going to do here is if your function has a horizontal dilation and it's written like this, you need to factor out the coefficient to look something like this so that the 4 comes out to the front and then we're left with the factor of x plus 2. That way I know that my b value is equal to 4 and my h is equal to negative 2. It's the opposite. Okay. What we're going to do next is look at the transformations for negative 2 times the square root of negative quantity x plus 3 minus 1. We have a stretch value, vertical stretch value of negative 2, a horizontal stretch value of negative 1. So when we manipulate our stretch for our horizontal stretch value, again, we're going to use that 1 over b. Our h is negative 3 and our k is negative 1. So I like to get the shape first and then horizontal and vertical stretches. Okay, so I use the horizontal vertical stretches, sorry. And then I translate all of my key points. So for example, I'm going to start with my mother function with my anchor points here. And then I apply my horizontal stretch, which is a reflection. So all my anchor points are going to move to the left of the graph. Then I'm going to apply the negative 2, which affects it vertically flips the graph and it doubles each one of these anchor points. So instead of at 1, we're going to move to negative 2. At 2, we're going to move to negative 4. Finally, I'm going to take each one of these points and move them my h comma k, which in this case is h is equal to negative 3 and k is equal to negative 1. So I'm going to move my 0, 0 point over 3 down 1. I'm going to move this point over 3 down 1. So that would end up right here. Okay. And then my last point, this one over 3 down 1, 2, 3 down 1. It's right here. Okay. So that's what we're going to do for each one of these. I started this one. So 4 times x plus 2 squared. The mother function is x squared. My a value is 1. My b value is right here is 4. My h value is negative 2. And my k value is 0. So to get this shape, what I do is I take the mother function table and then I multiply the y by my vertical stretch. So a times y here, and my x times my 1 over b times x. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So the y is 1, so it's 1y. So these don't change. Okay. And my x values change to 1 over b, so 1/4 times negative 1, which is negative 1/4. And then I'm going to do it again. 1/4 times 0, which is 0. And then this one is 1/4 times 1, which is 1/4. So now I can see my points. I'm going to graph negative 1/4, comma 1, 0, comma 0, and 1/4, comma 1. So go ahead and do that. Yeah, red. 1/4, comma 1. It's really tight here. 1/4, comma 1, and 1. And so I can see my graph is stretched up really tight here. It's kind of hard to draw that curve almost. So I'm going to take these anchor points You know, I'm going to do -2. What's 1/4 of -2? Well, that would be -1/2. So at -1/2, I would go up 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, my curve is kind of off. So let's try that again. 1/2, comma 4. So you can see how tight that really is. I always tell myself for horizontal stretch, my X values are moving 4 times as fast, so the outputs are going to come faster. Okay, so the graph is going to shrink in smaller. It's going to take me less time to graph. So now I need to graph my horizontal and my vertical shift. So I'm going to move H comma K. So -2, so that means to the left 2. So I'm going to move 1, 2. And all the points move with me. Okay, we are going to just do one more. So get your A, B, H, and K values and your mother function. So my mother function is x cubed, and I built the table right here for you. So we're going to go A is 3/2, B is -1, H is 0 in this case, and K is 2. So we're going to deal with this stuff later, and I'm going to apply my stretch values. So the Y stretch value is actually the A value, so it's 3/2 times what my Y values were. And my B values are, I need to switch this to 1/B, so -1/1 times X. Okay, I wrote that kind of weird. Times X. So this gives me my new values. So 3/2 times -1 would be -3/2. This is 0 and +3/2. My -1 is going to become a +1. My 0 just stays a 0. And my -1 times 1 becomes -1. All right, so my new stretch points are, I'm going to go these. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so I'm going to go to 1, comma, -3/2. So -1.5. 0, 0 stays. And then -1, comma, 3/2. And it looks something like that. Okay, and then I need to apply my H and K, which is right here. So it's just going to move each one of these points up 2. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And we're done. That's it.